So
boys and girls, live from the Ministry League studios in North Georgia, each week with John the Professor Podein and Paul Superman Spurlin, and with producer Caleb Sampson behind the glass on the Ministry League Network. And on all your other favorite platforms, here with all your ministry talk and the latest in news and sports. It's the John and Paul Show live.
Welcome to the John and Paul Show, brought to you by Ministry League at ministryleague.com, on social media at Ministry League, everywhere you can go. Also, go to the website, as Professor Podein is written, at johnandpaulshow.com or johnandpaulshow.live. Social media, we have at John and Paul Show. So everything you need, all your questions, and this may shock you. If you want to send us an email, it's johnandpaulshow@gmail.com. I am Paul Spurlin. With me, as always, is John Podein. And thanks to Caleb for taking care of us behind the glass, about 250 miles away. So here we go. What you got?
Hey, good morning, Paul. Good morning, Caleb. Good morning, everybody in there. I don't know. I'm in a giddy mood right now for some odd reason this morning, or at least a goofy mood here as we begin the show. But Paul, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I thought I was about to start it as the Paul and Paul Show.
I know.
So I wasn't sure if
I know. I did that
because he was just there and then he was gone. And the back there is so vast. And so I wasn't sure if you were hiding behind the piano or what, the couch.
Well, I thought about doing it. I need to get the fireplace going in here. It's a little chilly this morning up here in North Georgia. But it's good to see everyone. I hope that we hope that you're having a great week as we begin, Paul. It's a lot of things going on in the world, a lot of things going on in sports world. What's going on in your world?
Well, we got a lot going on around here. We'll talk about that as part of our topic today. But I would say, as we are about to close out the month of January, in about a week or two, we got the Freed Hardeman Lectureships in Henderson, Tennessee. So we're looking forward to being there and being a part of all the things they have going on that week. It's always good. It's kind of like a big family reunion among church folks and preachers and others. So it's good. Looking forward to that. Of course, we got CYC the end of the month. We'll be going up there and vendoring for Ministry League Experience, which we finally have everything in the can and ready to go and ready to unleash and share with the world on stuff. So we're excited about that. New stuff going on with that as well. So exciting times.
It is exciting, Paul. And I'll be up there with you for CYC. I'll be up there vendoring with lads to leaders. And of course, then my other part that I have to do up there. But it's an exciting month. We had an exciting conversation yesterday for people. Just kind of give them a little hint. Yeah, we had a very good conversation with Graham McDonald, tying up some loose ends. Tying up some loose ends here. So we'll be able to have some good information to present to you by, hopefully we're planning by March 1 to be able to give you some good information about what is going to take place there. Going to be so exciting, Paul. This is not a vacation trip. We're getting out to work and excited about it.
Yeah. And it's interesting how that we're going to be basically emulating what we'll be doing in May here. What we'll be doing there in September. And so please know when you make your plans, and hopefully you will, to be a part of this event in May, right here at Piedmont Road in Marietta. That's that last week, or the first weekend of May, 5, 6, 7. It's really all about the church. It's about ministry, it's about church, and how to better minister to those in your congregation, but even those in your community, and how to connect and create the right things to connect. And so that's something we're going to be doing here, but also there. And it's exciting, and I think we're going to hopefully equip people to be in an event there, to be side by side with people that can better have those conversations about Bible study and to bring the Word of God to light.
Really excited about it. Excited about all over Scotland, having some from Great Britain come up and be a part of it too. So and Ireland. So really excited about that, of what can be brought there to the island of the United Kingdom of to spread His word. And so we're excited about that.
Yeah. What else going on? I know you got a lot going on there at that Calhoun. A lot of new things happening.
Well, we're just buzzing, busy, and we will get a lot of stuff. In fact, we'll talk about, that's part of what we're going to talk about in our show today. Some things coming up and events between what you're doing this Sunday, what I will be doing in, I think we're about 3 weeks away. So it'll be cool.
Well, John, let's nice segue. Let's
you like that, didn't you?
I like it. I do. Let's kind of sort of jump in and give and present the topic for the day.
Let's do
which
it.
is,
Paul, every churches do this and do different events throughout the year. Sometimes it's used for getting into the community. Sometimes it's used for their membership, specifically different things. And, we thought we'd spend some time just talking about, since we have the guru of events with us here on the show, Mr. Paul Spurlin, we would spend some time talking about how do you put on events, at your local congregation. Is it just something you just do? Is this another Sunday or another Wednesday or a meeting throughout the week? Or what are some things that we can do to take advantage of these events when we have visitors, when we have special days? And so that's kind of what we wanted to hit on a little bit this morning.
Yeah. So here at Piedmont Road, about 2 years ago, 2 years or so ago, we were doing like a week gospel meeting every year. And that was our outreach as far as bringing a visiting speaker in, paying him for the week and doing stuff. And so the elders decided that that maybe it might be good or gave them the idea, and they came up with the idea of, instead of bringing one guy in for 4 or 5 days, let's bring in 4 guys to come in and speak 4 different times. So we give an emphasis on the quarter type stuff. I had somebody this past Sunday actually asked me about themes and stuff for the year. And I'm like, that kind of goes with this. And I will say, and that may be a whole nother show, but with that, we have a quarterly emphasis. And what we need to do is, when you have these special days, you need to make sure and communicate to your congregation, to communicate to their friends and family, exactly what we're discussing. So last year we did a weekend on community outreach. We had a weekend on family. We had a weekend on education, and so you do, and then a weekend on worship, which you came into, but was a part of that. That was pretty awesome. So you have an emphasis, and you really tell folks, we're really going to learn and spend a lot more time in this area, and it's really neat, and it goes well, and it connects with people. It connects with especially people in your community, because I think in congregations right now, community cares about community, and bless you. And when people, you're welcome. And so when people come in and they see that you care about community and do stuff and outreach and have topics that really matter in the community, I think it really hits, and I think it trends well. And so that's kind of what we're doing this weekend. We're actually having a Friends and Family Day. We're calling it Friends and Family Homecoming. Okay. So the emphasis is moving our friends to family. And so we just want everyone in the community to know we're here for them. We're their church. It's funny, about I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, we did a door knocking campaign around our neighborhood, and this lady, and we gave instruction to our people. You're going to have someone that tells them, I've got my church. Yep. And then this is what you say to them. This is what the instruction we gave them. It says, well, you may have your church, you may go there, but this is your community church. This is your neighborhood church. We're your neighborhood church. And if you do something close by, we're here for you. I'm not saying we're a community church. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying we're the church for the community. There's a difference.
There is a difference. And that's awesome that you do. You know, Paul, you know, for the last 3 years, basically, you know, we've kind of tiptoed in the church as a whole and maybe trudged in some mud trying to get restarted after COVID. You know, everything was shut down. There weren't gospel meetings. There weren't friends and family days. There weren't things like this going on. And so we're trying to get back going and reintroduce. Some churches are trying to reintroduce themselves to the community, like what you were saying. And I think there is something there, especially in a world of which we have so many different churches, so many different brands, so many different flavors that people attempt to choose from. Sometimes the Lord's church gets lost in the mixed of everything else. And so I applaud y'all for what you're trying to do. We're doing our Friends and Family Day in the third week of February, coming up here in the community. And one thing that's been our goal that I know that we're trying to reach to is that I've tried to push with our people here is that there are so many research talks about so many people, even here in the South, that are unchurched and reaching the unchurched. And so we have a couple of different areas that we're working on. One thing that specifically we're working on that we've adopted kind of as a ministry is working with our foster families. And we have 9 foster families out of about the 30 or 40 that are in this Gordon County community or more that have bought in a little bit. And so we're reaching out to them. And of course, they're going to be to come to the Friends and Family Day, and kind of like I like how you say to make your friends family, and really having a purpose behind what you're doing. That these aren't just another day. That this is not just I'm afraid that sometimes we look at these events. Oh, we need to have one, so we're just going to do it. No. Have a purpose behind what we are doing with these events.
Oh yeah, ministry has to be purpose driven. You know. Don't do it if you're not going to do it for a reason. You know, make it matter, make it hit, make it do cool stuff. And so yeah, that's definitely something that that is interesting. It's funny you should say that about the friends and family stuff, because just yesterday, Jake and I each week we try to record a show. We call it the Home Team, and it's for Piedmont Road specifically. We'll post it on Facebook, but we at the church group and everything, and we tell them, said, here's the deal: Friends and Family Day is this Sunday, but guess what? Every Sunday is Friends and Family Day. Every Sunday is a time to bring folks in and make it special. And that's what we try to do. We really, honestly, and you know this, we've been at a lot of places here at Piedmont Road. Everyone is so happy and that they're so welcoming, and it's just so neat. And it's just, I don't know, it's just so light. And the worship is rejoicing. And Jake does a great job with the pulpit. And we just got a lot of folks that just really are engrossed in worship, and the classes. Our class numbers are actually going up. So exactly.
Yeah, ours are too. Yeah.
So it's really good.
And Paul, I think you brought something up there that we have to be careful when we talk about special days. And and I do think that there's a balancing act that we need to explain to people is, yes, it's a special day because there's a purpose behind that day, but every Sunday should be special. Every Sunday should have a purpose behind what we're doing. Of course, the ultimate purpose is that we're there worshiping God, bring Him glory, our fellowship with each other. But I guess that's the balance there. And how do we keep that balance of not putting this day, one thing that you will hear about, people, Easter, we're not going to do anything special for Easter because it's just another Sunday, or even Christmas or things like this, or Mother's Day or Father's Day. How do we have special days without just glorifying this day above each other Sunday?
Well, I love what you said there. It's not just another Sunday. I mean, that almost should be a bumper sticker and honk if you love Jesus kind of thing. I mean, it's not just another Sunday, because every Sunday is so special. Right. Because it gives us the opportunity to commune with our Lord and to be with our family. And I don't know. I love Sundays and Wednesdays. I love the church. I love the ministry in general. And I just love the chance of connecting with people. And so I think, we just got to become infectious, because that's what Jesus did. Jesus put himself in a situation where he was in front of the children, the adults, the faithful, the sinful. He was with everybody because he wanted an opportunity to connect with those people. And so as much as this show today is about special days, just know that we can create this every day. And this kind of goes all the way back to our Acts formula, not ours, but Jesus, that we used and have used in making worship special, in making every opportunity together intentional and meaningful.
Right. And that is I think you just hit the nail on the head of our worship. And probably this needs to be another show just in and of itself when we're talking about worship. Is when we're coming together on Sundays, it's very easy at times to make Sunday just another day. I'm going back through the motions. It's just another sermon. We're going to sing our 3 songs, have a prayer song, have a Lord's Supper, a couple songs, have our sermon. And to do that, like Frodo is sitting here saying, every Sunday is special, and we get to take advantage of meaning. And I think that's a challenge that we have, not only in American Christianity, but Christianity in general around the world, is how do we make sure that we don't lessen what Sunday's supposed to be about? And especially when we're connecting special event days like what we're doing now.
Yeah. I just think it's a part of our life. I think, I think it's what we do, it's what Jesus had set up. You can go to 1 Corinthians 16:1 and start talking about why we're together, on Sundays, and the purpose by which what brings us together is his life, his death, his blood on the cross, and that one lamb, the only option that could give us that hope for heaven, which we have. Thank goodness. Thank you for salvation, Lord, and thank you for doing that. And we come together to worship him, to give him, some people word it as a sacrificial opportunity to worship him. What are you sacrificing? I mean, he did the sacrifice. Right. We're the ones that are bringing the love and showing the respect and bring it to him every single Sunday. These special days are hopefully something that gives members a chance to share with people that, like you said, are unchurched, sometimes unfaithful, maybe a neighbor, a friend, somebody, a coworker, and just say, man, because I don't know. Sometimes if you invite every week, it kind of grows old with some folks. It shouldn't, because it's part of who we are. It's the DNA of a Christian. It's the forefront of who we are. And this is, in all those years of youth ministry, my biggest thing I told kids, and I would tell adults the same thing. Our Christian life is kind of like defensive driving, and I'm really getting into that now since Laney's been on the wheel. You always have to watch out for what's going on. I mean, you got to watch what's going on. The devil doesn't hate you. He hates God, and he wants to hurt what God loves the most. And so we're in a situation where we get to knock down the thing that bothers. And so it's just, I don't know, it's just really cool. And I think it's neat that we get to have those emphasis days aside and try to bring folks in that day. And the hope is that they hear something that they're like, oh, that's kind of neat, that maybe they wouldn't hear it every Sunday. Right. You bring in a special speaker, a different person that you from the pulpit, and just give a different perspective of what they're usually going to hear every Sunday anyway. So it's kind of neat to do that.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Something that you were saying right now, and the sad part is our evangelism in the church, at least within about the last 50 years in the United States, has been simply inviting people to church. That's the majority of our evangelism, has been, let me get them to come to church and maybe they can hear something. Because as I guess Caleb must have wrote it, that people are often scared to speak about their faith and where they attend. So these special days gives an opportunity to invite people and welcome them to come to be a part of it. Now, we need to break out of that mold that our evangelism is stuck in if I can invite you to church, and hopefully you'll hear something. Yes, we need to break out of that. We're not there yet. And so it does allow opportunity to make it easy to say, hey, I've got a special day. You know, the lesson is generally going to be on something that's uplifting or encouraging to them. That's all for everybody. You're probably going to put a little bit extra into the singing that day. You're going to put a little bit extra, make sure the Lord's Supper thought is really on point. And everything else, to show them, like you said, Paul, this is different, and to open some doors to be able to do it. And I think that's where we do have to understand what is our purpose behind these special day events. And that is one of the main ones, is that we're trying to reach people who may not know about your local church, to invite them in and to say, here's who we are.
Yeah. And so the question is this: well, how do I do this? How do I put together a special event? Well, I mean, obviously, first of all, you meet with your eldership and find a good date, find a good topic. And what we do here, Jake and I present these 4 quarterly Sundays to the elders and get them to approve it with speaker, topic, and everything else. So we're done. We're ready. Everything's ready to go for the whole year of 23 based on that. And so you do a few things. We've done door knocking. You know, door knocking. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Sorry. It is effective. It is effective.
Sure.
It just is. Walking through the neighborhood, just seeing folks in the yard working and talking to them. It's just you know, it's kind of neat to find people so close to the building and just say, we got something coming up. We'd love you to come be a part of it. You know, mail outs, local mail outs. We put banners. We've gotten where we're really big on the banners in the yard. It's set up just perfectly for the banners to fit, so it doesn't move. And it's really, I appreciate one of our elders, Cliff Hicks and Richard Bystedt for handling that for us with our deacons. And so that they got that set up perfectly for us. And so we have that. We have the flyers we give to our members. Here's something that I think, I've been mentioning a lot more on this time around, and others have as well. We made these cards that look just like the banner. You know, it's Friends and Family Day, what we say is, have in your mind who that card is going to. And make sure this card goes in the hand of that person. Don't take a stack and say, I'm going to pass these out because you set them in the kitchen. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Make sure it's all about being intentional. I think ministry is all about being intentional. Be intentional even about the card you give to somebody and to invite them. You know, we had folks even last night asking for more. And so I just don't think you can print off enough. But make sure you don't print off just to kill trees. Make sure you put them in the hands of people that need them, and hopefully we'll have a chance to come in. And if they miss it, just say, well, come on back the next Sunday. Guess what? We still got some great stuff.
Absolutely. And what Frodo just said is exactly correct, Frodo, is that worship was never meant to be evangelistic centric and centered. It wasn't supposed to be there. In fact, not to get into church history lesson here, first century church was it was a closed communion. Yeah. It was only for members to come and be a part of, because you're taking the Lord's Supper. It was a very private thing. That's why what is done, and I will argue that preaching, at least how we consider preaching in the evangelistic nature of it, was not one of those 5 acts of worship that we like to point to. Now that we can, that's another subject for another time.
Well, technically, I think it's Bible study, but you go ahead.
You're correct. It was always teaching. Yeah, it was teaching. It wasn't what you see Paul doing in Ephesus. Is teaching. It's not getting up and preaching. Preaching was what was done on the street corners. It's what's done in, like he said, those day-to-day entries. So we do need to shift. We do need to shift back to that. But Paul, I think one thing that you said is explaining to the people what this day is about, explaining to your to your members what they can do, and get them excited. I know we did that here. I had one little old lady. She has been trying to get her neighbor to come, I know, since I came back and been back here. And she's been trying to come. She is from Georgia, Paul, the country of Georgia, not the state. And so she lives next door. She has been trying to get her to come. So that means she's probably Armenian or Russian Orthodox in her worship originally, because of where she came from. So she had been trying to get her to come, And because of that flyer, like you said, and the card, and that it was a special day, she's coming. She's coming. It gave a way to open that door to get it in. She came to me last night. She goes, I'm so excited. I finally get her to come and everything else. I said, oh, that's great, Linda. It's awesome. And Uh, so it is, but I'd almost say this, Paul, and then what you're nailing at is organization. Being organized without this. Do not just treat this day as another Sunday. Oh, let me do a flyer. Oh, we'll think of something to eat. Blah, 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 blah. Put some planning and meat behind this.
Right. So that being said, most days, most special days in the weekend we do, we let them fall usually on the fifth Sunday. Obviously in May we don't. It's the experience first part of the week of the month, but other than that, it's usually the fifth Sunday. Right. Usually we'll bring in a speaker and we'll let all the adults. So we have probably 4 adult classes across the building on Sundays, 4 different adult classes from college all the way to adults, and we bring them on in to the auditorium for the class and bring everybody together at once. This being Friends and Family Day, that's not what we're doing. This time we're keeping classes just the way they are. We want people to see what home looks like. Sure. And so home here has our K through 5 rotation model classes happening downstairs as they take the journey through the Bible. We have cradle roll and we have a 1-year-old class and a 2 to 4-year-old class because age 5 starts downstairs. And then, the college age class, the teen class, they're downstairs. You got 2 adult classes upstairs, and so classes are going to be what we do. It's how we do it. We want people to see it. We've invited a lot of people. We expect a lot of extra people. We're looking forward to that. The fellowship hall is set up to the hilt for tables, all kinds, all shapes and sizes, ready to go. So I'm excited about that. Big shout out to Green Group of our Connections program. Thank you so much. It's awesome. Looks great.
They're the Go Group.
I know, the Go Group. That's why it starts with G. That's all there's to it. So I'm pretty excited about it. They're excited about it. And then we'll have worship at 10:30, and then we'll have lunch at 11:30. We have a singing after it, and so it's just one of those. You kind of take an old school day from years ago with a modern day twist, but you're still using the same Bible. You're still connecting, and you're still having those opportunities to sing and to praise and to share. And I agree with Frodo on the intent of worship. But what we're looking at now is this is the doorway.
It is
of what life could look like. Right. So now it is the doorway of what life can look like, and so it is it's just one of those things, and it's neat. But I do know, I will say in May, we won't do the 5th Sunday, we'll do the 1st, which is ministry experience, evangelism outreach, which obviously hits that really well. Jeff Jenkins will be here that Sunday. And there's other teacher speakers, as you already know. But Matt Wallen will speak Friday night, and we got Tucker Wallace will speak on Saturday morning, and with a plethora of other people, Lori Boyd and others, they'll be here for different things. But then we'll have Dean Meadows, who's going to come and do like an apologetics weekend later on in the year. Actually, that's in July. And then in October is the next 5th Sunday, which will be Lonnie Jones. We're going to do a mental health and spiritual wellness weekend. And so you get different people with different things. And what happens when you do these days, and you know this, John, people that this will hit really cool with. Like they're like, oh, they really need this, or they've been looking for something like this. And so it'd be good to try this. And so you try to have topics that are good for your congregation, but you feel like will really connect well in the community as well.
Well, and that's the thing, Paul, is trying to connect. We thought about getting a speaker here, but because Rob is so new, we're going to let Rob speak. Yeah, it is hard to believe gospel meetings used to last weeks, and the old tent meetings. Everybody else just has so much stuff going on, but like we're going to let Rob speak here because he's still new. Need to introduce him to the community more, and he's speaking on families, and that's we are taking that family theme for the day and tying it into everything that we're doing. And we are using it. And I do think that it is, if you're going to have a day, have a purpose, have a theme, be organized, and execute it.
Yep.
Execute it. Sounds like I'm talking about killing somebody.
Well, that's a twist. This show just took a turn.
It did. Execute Order 66.
We have to die to sin, John.
It's all right. We do have to die to sin. That's right. Good thanks,
So
Caleb.
if yeah, Caleb's making that okay. So so if Robbie's leading singing, John,
I'll be leading singing. They couldn't find anybody else.
No, really.
So yeah,
You got a few there.
Yeah, we do.
That's cool.
We get lucky.
Anything
here.
else? Caleb, are there anything other comments? I don't see them on the Facebook post that's out there, but are there other comments that we need to highlight while we're talking about this, or is there anything else that any of us want to mention on this as far as this goes? We're looking forward to it. I will say on that date, John, give them that date in February.
Ours is going to be February 19th. Ours is February 19th.
Give them the schedule. What time does everything start and everything?
For us, everything is starting Bible study at 9:30. We will have worship at 10:30 with the fellowship meal, of course, following afterwards. We don't have Sunday night services, so we won't have any of that. That's normally also our day where we do our special SOS day. Everything is geared toward that and friends and family and just enjoying that time together.
Cool. So basically the same schedule. We'll be here Sunday, 9:30 class, 10:30 worship, and then lunch at, I say 11:30. It's going to be 11:30. And then,
it'll be more 12:30 us here because we'll be singing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't get done in an hour.
Gotcha. Well, we don't usually either, but, it is what it is. But that's fine. It's time to be together. It's a good time together. And then, of course, after lunch, we'll do some more singing. So we do love to sing, and it's one of those special things. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we have on our special days. And if you have any other questions, send us an email, johnandpaulshow@gmail.com. Love to share things. If you have topics of things that maybe we hit on a little bit and you want more information, send it to us. We're definitely open to do that. We try to keep our topics monthly, but that way we can put some things in there quickly if we need to do something like that. Well, John, let's move into some sports if you'd like to.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
NFL happening. The teams are picked. They've made their way. There's 4 left, and let's see where we are. I think we should make some picks, especially before this weekend.
I was kind of sad. I was hoping for the Bills, Kansas City in Atlanta, man.
In Atlanta, that would be so great.
I was actually like, you know what? I hate the NFL, but I would go watch a playoff game. That's kind of cool on a neutral site. I'd go.
I do not hate NFL, but
I mean,
Jacksonville
kind of got me back into it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, Jaguars got me back into it a little bit because I remember I was there in January of 1996, Paul, when Jacksonville beat the Denver Broncos. And to make it, I think it was to the AFC Championship game. And in the second year of its existence.
And that was early.
Yeah. And I was at the stadium that night with about 30,000 other people when they flew over and came to the field and everything else. Yeah, it was a big party in downtown Jacksonville. And I'm sure afterwards somebody got shot. But yeah, it was fun.
Folks, there's a theme going on right now. Hey, is anybody else in the house with John? Can someone please take care of him when this is over? I'm worried about him. Oh, my word. Someone's going to die today. Sorry.
It is what it is. It is what it is. So what do you think about the NFL playoffs right now and the teams that are left, Paul?
I would have liked to have seen the Bills beat Joe Burrow any day and twice on Sunday.
Let me tell you something. Is there a better quarterback right now than Joe Burrow?
Oh, there's a few. Yeah.
You think so, man?
Oh, I think Jalen Hurts is much better.
Of course you would.
I think that Brock Purdy as a rookie is showing a whole lot. I think a lot has to do with people who are around him.
Sure.
I think you have 2 different categories here with both Jalen and Purdy. Purdy basically has all things around him. People will say the same thing of Jalen, but Jalen also has talent. I mean, he's shown it in college, he's shown it now in college in 2 different places. So I mean, he can run it, he can throw it. The question is his shoulder ready to go? It looked pretty good the other day.
So Paul, here's a question for you. Who gets to claim Jalen? Alabama or Oklahoma?
I think that the only one that carries the championships across that time frame would be the
Oh,
Alabama.
that is hilarious when it's broken
The
out
real
on
crimson.
Twitter. Oh,
So
that's
there we go.
hilarious.
Yeah.
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 Well, it'll be interesting. What do you see? Who do you see the Super Bowl being?
I mean, I hate to say it, but I unfortunately, I'm afraid the Bengals will probably go, depending on how, with Patrick Mahomes, depending on where his ankle is, his high ankle, possible high ankle sprain, how that's working out for him. I want the Chiefs to win just because I don't want Burrow to go. Sorry, Frodo hates hearing that, but it's a college thing. But I'm a little torn on the 49er Eagles game. I look forward to the 49er Eagles game. I've loved the 49ers as a child, Montana Rice days. So I'm excited about them being there. But D'Amico Ryans, everything comes back to this. Sorry, it just does. Is the defensive coordinator? He's going to have a full head job next year. He's pretty awesome. The most prolific defense in the NFL right now, as far as allowing points to be scored. But obviously, with the Eagles, you've got Devontae and Landon Dickerson and Jalen Hurts there, so representing pretty well for the Eagles. So I don't know. If I make a pick, I'm gonna say the Eagles and the Bengals.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it's going to end up to. I that's my pick. I think nobody's probably played better ball than the Eagles all year long. The Bengals, it's just cocky little guy back there at quarterback, but man, he does it. He does it. Plus, Kansas City knocked out Jacksonville, so I got to go with the Cincinnati Bengals on this one, and it'll be interesting. Be an interesting Super Bowl.
It will.
There playing out. You lost your offensive coordinator. I saw that at Alabama.
And defensive coordinator.
And, I figured you'd be happy with the defensive coordinator being gone. Poor Saban's got to go find some more assistants in there.
Let me tell you something. Poor Saban had a plan ready. So don't worry about Saban.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting in this. We have the other signing day getting ready to come up here. And I don't expect there to be a lot of changes. There's been a lot of things going on in the transfer portal now. Of course, things with the NIL still messed up. The Florida Jaden Rashada issue was horrible. Both sides, I think, is not a good look. Don't think it's a good look for the NFL. Not NFL. Well, it is. NFL juniors, what college has turned into with the NIL and transfer portal, and it's just.
Well, think about this. We've now done a good job of taking the purity away from the college game.
Oh, absolutely, we have.
But also, Major League Baseball with International Signing Day of signing teenagers. You just wait. Just wait till high school. It will also be an impoverished situation when it comes to personalities and people and how they treat people with the almighty dollar. It's
do you catch yourself, and probably not since you're a diehard Alabama fan, do you catch yourself, not that you don't root for your team, not that you don't watch your team, but the drive to just be all up in that is lessening each year because of how the sport is going, the purity is going. At least for me, that's what's happening.
Oh yeah, it's tough. It really is. I know every coach has got a situation to deal with. Probably Deion Sanders will have the biggest situation to deal with this year more than anybody else.
I love watching what he's doing. I mean,
he's awesome. There's no doubt about it.
There's not a better PR person out there than what Deion.
I believe he'll be wearing the blue coat on the Aflac commercials from now on. That's all I got to say. But we'll see how that rolls. That'll be funny to watch.
I would love to see Alabama play Colorado in a national championship game. Oh, that would love to.
Anything to take us there will be fine with me.
That would be hilarious.
He'll have a good team. He'll do good. He's got a hard schedule to face this year.
Oh, he does.
It'll be fun to watch as far as that goes. Back on the NIL thing, I know that Saban, because I've seen the interviews, I know that Saban has those conversations with those kids that you're getting money now, but it's a lot of money. He says, but it's not pro money. So you got to take care of your business here before you can go there. I mean, it's a lot, but it's not pro money. Joe Burrow, as much as I hate to admit it, will probably bring in about 250 to 300 million on his next contract negotiation. But it's crazy. It's insane. Huh?
I think maybe we could reach out to him and get a donation for Ministry League in our trip to Scotland from him, since he's signing 200 to 300 million. Frodo, you think you can make that happen with your Louisiana ties?
I'll let you and Frodo handle that one. I would gladly cash that check though.
Yeah,
for the Lord.
Yeah.
For the Lord.
For the Lord.
It is. There's one thing we haven't mentioned yet, and I can't believe it's an area of sports you didn't want to talk about. And I don't know why you don't want to talk about it. And that's college basketball. I wonder why you're missing.
Oh, whatever. Y'all almost lost last night. Don't even go there. Y'all had to come and fight back in the last seconds to win.
It was a struggle bus. But it's the first time we've been number 2 in the nation in like over 20 years.
Oh, it's got to be exciting to watch all of that. I'm excited, and I'll get excited more when March comes around.
Oh, yeah.
Looking
Me
at
too.
it and getting in there. I'm excited about baseball season. I can't wait to see what the Braves are gonna do here in spring training. There's a lot of hype around them.
They signed Kevin Pillar for left field. They did. Now he's on assignment, so he's going to do AAA for a little while, I think. But he'll be at spring, and we'll see what happens there. And they needed a big move. They still say they're going to look for a veteran shortstop, even with Vaughn Grissom right there ready to go. But Vaughn did okay last year as it ended. He had some great games, but towards the end, his bat kind of cooled off. And so,
I heard, at least far as the defense, the reason why Alex was willing to let Dansby go is because Ron Washington said Vaughn can do it. Vaughn can do it.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
And Washington is like the guru in the Major League Baseball of fielding and stuff. So
that's true. And is Orlando Arcia the veteran they need to balance that out? He's already there. So, we'll see. Pitching will be the issue. The Mets are crazy on pitching now. With Verlander joining Scherzer there, it's crazy. That's what it's all about.
Here's the deal, though. The Braves need to take care of their games. Minimize the losing of series, and they'll be right back there. Everybody's picking them. They should have it should be the best offense the Braves have ever had.
Who's the closer?
I don't know.
We need a closer.
I don't know.
Kimbrel's just hanging out there, I think. Let's bring Craig back.
I don't know. I don't know who the closer is going to be.
A lot of things to talk about. Can't wait to get to that. And maybe we'll do some special sports only shows coming up if we can.
Man.
But right now we got a lot going on here, a lot of ministry happening. Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. What a great show. People that are watching from Facebook Live. Thank you so much. Big thanks to Caleb and of course here. John, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Man, no, just ready to I got some statistics to do.
Sounds great. We got more prep to do for this weekend. Looking forward to it. And hopefully you will plan your special day. If you have any questions about it, reach out to us. Love to help you. Thanks for being with us. Don't forget to go to the website, johnandpaulshow.com, johnandpaulshow.live. Also at Ministry League everywhere on social media. Go to the website, ministryleague.com, ministryleague.com/experience. Get some information about the event coming up soon. Thanks to everybody around here. Appreciate everybody. For John Podein, I'm Paul Spurlin. This has been the John and Paul Show. Have a great day. God bless.